Go ahead, take us away, bro.
All right, we are live, everybody. We are back. It is Tape Don't Lie. It is your favorite Raiders podcast, favorite Raiders channel, favorite Raiders everything. You guys already know what to do. It's your first time here, first time listening, first time checking this out. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the like button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Make sure to follow me and BD on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, and then at BD Williams 18 for BD. And then, of course, we got the new announcement. We got the memberships that we just added, guys. So, definitely want to show you guys these packages, right? Thank you, BD, for pulling that up. I was pulling it up. I appreciate that. So, go ahead and check out these packages we got here. So, we got the $3.99. You get your little emoji badges, right? You know what I'm saying? You get your member only live chats, right? So that means you guys got basically get priority chats or whatever. Sometimes you guys can only leave a chat if you sign up, right? And then you got your priority reply to comments, which we will do that as well with your member. We'll make sure we reply to all your comments and make sure you get those questions answered. And that's just $3.99, man. That's just $4 a month. It's like ESPN Plus, right?
There you go.
All right, and then we got tape watchers. I mean, that's for the people who want that extra tape. I know some people they don't like the extended 45-minute tape breakdowns that we do sometimes. So they want the quick 8-minute thing. So we'll save that for the page, right? For the average listener, and then you got the people who want the extended stuff. Get the individual player breakdowns, and of course we do our members only Q&A. We're gonna do those. So you guys sign up for the $9.99. You get the members only Q&A. So that means that you guys are the only ones who can get those question answers. We're gonna do that every single week from here on out. So be on the lookout for that. That's to be exciting. And then of course during the season, we get those draft and free agency scattering reports when we get those. So keep that we're doing right now. I know we're close to the draft, but hey, next year you definitely get those. And of course, you get extended game reviews and previews. So that's more like individual game reviews, more previews type of things that or be extended. When we do our little breakdowns and stuff, you get more raw edited content. You know what I mean? And then of course, you got BD. Me and BD love our offensive defensive charts. We're gonna be doing that. Pretty much for fun anyways. So, we'll go ahead and share those. You guys get those every play, every target, every coverage, all that good stuff. Then we got, every play Carfax. Sometimes I know some people want to see every single pass play. Some people don't want to see every single pass play. So for the people who want to see every single pass play, every single run, whatever he does, whatever sack, every single play for the Carfax, you got that on the 1999, and then of course you got the little classroom. Where me and BD go over coverages, plays. We'll go over some tosser, whatever these Earnhardt Perkins plays. We'll go over these run concepts, whatever in the classroom in depth videos there, and then of course I'll do my NFL weekly QB breakdowns I like to do anyways. So we'll go ahead and do those on the channel, and we'll watch some other quarterbacks, and you guys can maybe learn who's really as good as they say they are and who's really not as good as they say are, right? So definitely have that on the outlook. So definitely check out all those for the memberships. Definitely got the link in the description, I believe. Probably get that in there in a second if it's not there. So definitely check that out, guys. And
if it's not there, hit refresh. Hit refresh if it's not there. We just put it up. Todd Clements became a YouTube. Look at that already. Okay. Todd Clements.
I appreciate you, Todd. Appreciate you, Todd. So yeah, appreciate all the love that you guys have showed us before anyway. So definitely all the listeners helping us get over 7K subscribers. So definitely appreciate you guys. All right. So we're here, but we're talking draft, guys, right? We're still talking draft. We're looking at some of the players that might come up. Dave Ziegler's had his press conference. Very interesting. BD, we were talking about that, and it was very interesting. It's a lot of stuff he said. I really liked him talking about best player available. I thought that was some great stuff to talk about. That whole quote, the whole spiel he went on. Man, that was amazing. So I liked that thought process, but also made me think like, man, maybe we're overthinking like these corners and these players that we're looking at, and they're just gonna take the best player that's there. So
yes. But here's the thing with that, we have an idea because Ziegler comes from the Patriots, McDaniels comes from the Patriots, Patrick Graham used to coach at the Patriots. We have a kind of idea based off the past,
Yeah.
But until we start seeing these guys draft and putting together like their own stamp on it, a way like their Raiders stamp on this, we're just prognosticating and we're just doing our best to honestly fill up content for the listeners and for the audience and everything like that, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we are overthinking it for sure, but I think we're gonna, in the coming years, we're gonna have a better idea, basically, of what's going on with these guys.
Yeah, for sure. Just that comment and kind of that thought process. I feel like Ziegler's in control, though. I don't think McDaniels has that much say. I think he has say, but I don't think he has the last word. I think Ziegler's in full control, man. I think you could tell by the way he carried himself at the press conference that it's really his scouting department. He talked about they're already getting ready for the next draft. You know what I mean? So, which maybe kind of tells us that their board's done, right? I mean, if they're looking at the next draft, their board's pretty much done. They've kind of feel like going into the draft, they already really know what they're going to do, especially if they're already getting ready for the next draft. I mean, why would you do that unless you already have your board done? So it's just interesting that that conversation, though, that, we talked about a lot about players falling, right? If so, we already know right now if somebody special falls is based from off that press conference. I think they're either going to be aggressive to go get them, or
Right.
they're going to take them at best player available. Doesn't matter what position that we think they are. So, they might end up taking Sam Howell at 86 if he falls that far. We don't know.
Right.
I mean, they might take Sam Howell. They're like, what the hell? Or like, why they take Sam Howell? It's like, well, the highest player on their board, and he's there at 86, and he could definitely be a backup development quarterback. So, it's just things like that. I mean, that's what I kind of got from the press conference. I don't know. I know you didn't really see that much of it, BD, but I just that thought process. What do you think?
I saw the part where he said that they already have their board done and they're working on the next draft. I thought that was interesting. I don't know if that's necessarily how every franchise does it. That was definitely an eyebrow raiser. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, like they have their work done. They already know like they have a limited number of picks, and you're right. Maybe they might try to package some of these picks and move up in the draft. We will see. And if that's the case, then there'll be even fewer picks that they'll have this year. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. Besides, that the draft board and the best player available, is there any other takeaways that you had?
No, I mean, it's just GM talk. It's
Yeah.
usual GM. The best player versatility. We love versatility. All that typical GM stuff. But I mean, I know they love versatility. Well, another interesting thing that he said, though, I will bring up is that he talked about how they don't look at the talent first. Really, he said they look at the person, his football intelligence, his character, and all those things before, and then they look at the tape. Like they want to know the guy.
Yeah.
They want to know his football intelligence, like the things. Know that he's low maintenance, which I thought was an interesting comment. He said low maintenance. We want low maintenance players.
But it makes sense. It makes sense when you're in Vegas. First of all,
for sure.
But the other funny thing about it is like the first thing that he said was, we want to make sure they love football. Gruden always said that.
Yeah.
Like we want to get players who love football. So on one hand, yeah, that's cool to hear, but I think every GM will say that. We'll see if they really stick to their guns on that, though. That's because if they get a great talent that falls, to 86, but they don't know if that guy loves football, are they going to pick him just because the talent is too good? That's when a GM really has to like, are we really going to stick by our guns right now and trust our process, or are we going to get antsy because we see this phenomenal talent, this phenomenal athlete, and he's in our crosshairs here? So we are going to find out if Ziegler really means it.
Yeah, because there's some players that I think might fall to 86 that have a lot of buzz right now. One of them is Perion Winfrey. He's got a little bit of character issues. I talked to you about some of his character issues that I heard from the Senior Bowl. Just talking to people and networking and some of the things I heard about him. So, but he is somebody that might be higher on their board. That if he's there at 86, that's the low maintenance thing. Do they take that guy? Do they decide basically? So that'll be a big test to me if he falls, because I think there's a chance, just because I read some Bob McGinn. He does a pretty good article where he talks to scouts. He's been doing it for like 30 years, right? I mean, he does an article every year for 30 years. So, he has some really good scout, maybe some of those guys are outdated now, but they still get their thoughts right. And they brought up his character issues like right away. So that tells me that, he might be there at 86 and he's a really explosive player. Are they just going to pull the trigger on somebody like that? That will tell us a lot, in my opinion. So we'll see, because I don't think he'll last in Las Vegas.
Okay. Well, we're going to see. How far away is the draft? Less than 10 days.
Oh, it's a week from now. It's a week. No, it's next. Oh yeah, next Thursday, bro. Yeah.
Next Thursday. Okay, yeah. So 8 days. 8 days from now, the draft is coming. We got a question here from a member, Egalitarian 207. He's asking me what your thoughts on Nick Cross. I don't know if Dave Ziegler will draft him. Great question, though, because I'm covering Nick Cross today in the breakdown. So you're going to see my thoughts. Look at Egalitarian. You're way ahead of me, man. I see you, bro.
Look at that. Look at that. So, all right. So let's get into what are you covering today?
Good transition. Good transition, yes. So I'm gonna look at the safeties that I think are going to be available in rounds 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, or a safety in each round that I think will be available there. And I'm just gonna go through their tape, talk about some things that I noticed from watching film. Not saying that the Raiders should pick them, but guys who I think would be there in that round. And if the Raiders do take them, kind of giving you a little preview into that player on the field. But looking at safeties today. What about you, bro?
I'm looking at tight ends, which people could be like, "Oh, raise your eyebrows," right? Marcus doing in depth on tight ends, but I mean, they brought some tight ends in, some visits, and I think it's more about Foster Moreau than it has anything to do with Darren Waller. I think Foster Moreau really struggled blocking last year. I mean, I think any fan could notice that. A lot of those blocks. I mean, the Trey Hendrickson, the fumble in the playoffs. I mean, that's all Foster Moreau trying to block Trey Hendrickson, which I still don't understand. When you watch tape all year, but there's stats out there, man. He's not blocking well. So I think it's more about him because I'm sure the Patriots came in there and watched some tape and like, this guy can't block, and he can't catch. But what are we gonna do with him? So
he can move though.
He can move. I mean. It's weird. Foster Moreau caught everything until he was a starter, and then stopped. And he started dropping everything. It made no sense. So
he had a down year. He had a down year last year.
He had a really down year. So I don't know. Like I think they're gonna draft somebody to kind of put a little,
fire
in his butt.
Yeah,
kick a little fire. Kick a little fire in him. And I think I brought up I went really blocking here. Right. I mean, there's one guy who I think is a freak, which I'm going to show. I kind of did a little preview on Twitter, but I mean, I got a freak in there, but I don't know where he's going to go. He probably won't be there, but I can't say that he's a tight end. Tight ends, they're not a really high value position, but I mean, he's a freak. But I'm really looking at more blocking guys because that's what I really think they're looking at. Just looking at James Mitchell, Isaiah Likely. I did a breakdown. I'm not going to show Isaiah Likely because I got a breakdown of him already up, but I mean, Isaiah Likely, he runs a 4.8. I mean, he blocks, but he blocks. He's a monster blocker, and that's what I'm gonna show some of those guys who have a little bit of upside with pass catching and stuff like that, but mostly just sticking to the blocking guys because that's what I think they're looking for. They're looking for a second guy who can block, so Darren Waller doesn't have to.
Yeah. There you go.
I mean, that's basically what they're looking for. They're looking for somebody that Darren Waller could always be a weapon. I feel like even if they want to bring him from tight end or have him run from the Y, right? They want him to run from the Y or whatever. They could have him there, right? But he doesn't have to block. But if they want a tight end to block and they want to get Darren Waller involved, they can still keep him out there. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's I think it's more.
So basically, you're saying if in that event where they got Waller out there, right, but they want to run the ball, you're saying Foster Moreau is not that guy right now as a blocker.
No, at all, man. I mean, he got his chance, bro. Because let's keep it real. I mean, we all thought going into the season, we thought Foster Moreau, if Darren Waller went down, we had Foster Moreau, it would be okay. I mean. I feel like every Raiders fan probably thought that. I mean, you guys can mention in the comments. We probably all thought that, okay, if Darren Waller went down, right, we'd be okay. But it didn't end up that way with Foster Moreau. I don't know what happened. He just decided he can't catch anymore. and he can't contest the catches. He's dropping passes, they're getting intercepted, and all these type of things that was happening with him. And then he had bad year blocking all year. So that's why I think they're looking at tight ends, because I think they're trying to get. They don't want Darren Waller to block, right? They want Darren Waller to play the killer role. I'm not gonna say his name. I'm just gonna call him the killer. They want him to play the role. They want him to play that role.
You went there.
So they want him to do that, and then have somebody else play the kind of smaller Gronk role, because there's no Gronks in this draft. There's no Gronks alive. So
Gronk's the only Gronk. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But I did go there. It's kind of funny. But anyways, so what should we get into first, BD?
It's up to you. Heads or tails? I can go.
Yeah, you go. I mean, safety's more interesting than tight ends, anyways. Let's look at some safeties. We already got a question about it, so I got a question about Bryan Edwards. I'm actually gonna do a Bryan Edwards breakdown because I keep getting questions about him, so I'm gonna do it.
Yeah,
we're gonna check out some Bryan Edwards targets here soon, guys, because he's got Devontae Adams coming in. Maybe he gets inspired by Devontae the way it works, because I think Bryan Edwards he's just a little like kind of relaxed. He's a relaxed guy.
Right.
Fun, likes to have fun. Oh, there's the cat right there.
There's the cat. I decided to leave the door open so the cat's not meowing outside the door the entire time. Now this is why I closed the door. Freaking cat.
All right, bro. Let's get it.
All right. Let me jump into it here. All right. So I'm going to be looking at safeties, like I said, who I think are going to be available in each round that the Raiders have a pick in. Okay, so first things first, going over Kirby Joseph. Round 3. The pros for Kirby Joseph: coverage, got great instincts, fantastic, incredible range, probably best in class range. The question marks, tackling, and the reason why I put a question mark is because the guy just doesn't get in on any tackles, honestly. It's clear that he doesn't want to tackle. But we'll go through his coverage plays first. This is the interesting one. He's going to turn into the post safety here, okay? And he's got a double post, and watch him read through the first post, run past it, get to the second post, elevate, break that pass up. I mean, this is an incredible play, incredible range for him to get all the way over there across the entire formation, break that pass up. Phenomenal. This guy's got a killer range. Here's a play. They're in a cover 0 blitz. He's on a tight end, number 99 here in the slot, and you see him in a half turn. He gets moved. He gets moved way too much. Oh, he's beat. This is a touchdown. He's giving up a touchdown here, but look at him finish. And not only does he finish, but he gets the interception. This is one of the most freaky interceptions that I've seen on tape this year. Just like, look how dejected number 99 is. He was like, oh my God, I thought I had a touchdown right here. Let's look at it from, the sideline. Look at 99. This is a touchdown. Look at him, okay? Kirby Joseph comes in, plays through the hands all the way through contact, and comes down with this combat catch. Incredible play here. Obviously, he was beat at first. And the difference here, if we go back, the difference here is if this is Trayvon Mullen is not getting beat inside, and the ball would just never be thrown because he'd be in perfect position. Kirby Joseph has some incredible recovery speed. Now, here's another one I want to show you guys. I put some of these on Twitter because when I first saw this, I was just flabbergasted. So Kirby Joseph right now, they are in a blitz look, okay? It looks like a cover 0 blitz. He's a free safety. He's down in the B gap, okay? The ball is hiked. He's on the line of scrimmage when the ball is hiked. And watch him just get back here in the post, deeper than the deepest man, from the line of scrimmage. This guy can move. This guy can really move. Here's another one right here. It just shows you his coverage chops. They're in a cover 2 look, and he's the hole player. He's the high hole player in this cover 2 look. Okay, and watch him pass that 86 off to the safety and get back into this passing lane. Great job, zone maintenance, and very difficult to throw against. Now, this is really the bread and butter, and this is why he's the number 1 safety in this breakdown. He's in the middle of the field, okay? He gets a break on this from the middle of the field, gets to the sideline, high points, interception. This is rare talent to be able to do this from the middle of the field. We're going to look at it from the end zone, okay? He's going to be even with the quarterback. The quarterback gives him a pump fake, and he knows as soon as that pump fake doesn't come out, he knows, oh, I'm going the opposite way. And you see him break on the ball before the quarterback even gets the ball out. And that's why he's able to get this interception, okay? That's a fantastic, fantastic talent, okay? And that's why he's in my number one. We got that little overlay in the way here. So I'm talking about round 4 right now. Here, let me try to get this overlay off. There we go. Okay, so I'm talking about round 4. Nick Cross. Someone asked me in the comments about Nick Cross. I like Nick Cross, okay? I think he's a plus for tackling. I think he's got some man-to-man ability, and he's got great speed. My only question really is his processing, and there's going to be one play that I'll show that kind of highlights that. Now, first of all, Nick Cross, he's got man on the tight end, tight ends in the backfield. You see him, great positioning right here. He knows, hey, I don't need to flip my head around the opposite way and pin him to the sideline and try to play to the pylon. This is a tight end. It's going back shoulder, so he plays that back shoulder beautifully right there. Fantastic move. Here's another one. Here he is. They're in a cover 0 look, okay, or maybe a quarters look, and this is Chris Olave right here in the slot. And you see him leverage step, okay, shuck him, get a little reroute, and just blanket Chris Olave here. That's a great coverage rep. Here's another one on a tight end. He's going to go ahead and break on this. You see just the explosive ability that he has to break and then to combat catch this high point. It looked like the tight end caught it, but he was out of bounds. Okay, trust me when I tell you the referee rolled it in incompletion. Okay, so great coverage from Nick Cross. I think we got some good coverage ability here. The other thing that I want to talk about. Okay, here's another one. Here he is again, blanketing a tight end. I think his ability to play man-on-man on tight ends is definitely a plus. Now, here's a question mark I have for Nick Cross. And this is something I saw pop up a few times. We're going to go ahead and get a out route here. Okay, from 86, he's running a flat route just to the goal line. Okay, and Cross has to just get outside of this really quick, and he's just so hesitant. And it's just you can't do that. Like that was just the easiest pitch and catch for a touchdown that you'll ever see right there. And Cross needs to know I'm the most outside guy. I need to get outside of this. I can't get picked off. Very questionable call as well from the defense. But what I really like about Nick Cross as well is his ability to come forward and tackle. Okay, here's a play right here. He comes inside of this. He gets chipped by this little tight end or whoever this is, this wide receiver out there, almost falls on the ground, gets his foot on the ground. Okay, you see he has the athleticism to get up off the ground. Explosion, they burst to make that play. Okay, fantastic ability right there. Here's another one. Watch him just come and just like a bulldozer, just throw his body around. You'll see that a lot from Nick Cross. Okay, so I do like him. I think that there's some questions with his processing, but other than that, I think he's a pretty clean prospect. Similar to maybe like a Tyreek Gillespie coming out last year. Now, my round 5 safety, Smoke Monday. Great name. Okay, biggest thing with Smoke Monday, he's a big guy. He's a long guy. Listed as 6'2". I'm sure his arm length is super long. Okay, I think he has the ability to potentially be a matchup player, meaning a guy who can come in, play man on tight ends, be a blitzer, be used interestingly in the defense. I think he's a plus run defender and probably one of the most fierce hitters in this draft. Okay, the cons are his instincts and honestly his coverage ability is almost non-existent. Okay, so number 21, we see him right here, comes on a blitz, beats that guy, gets in on that tackle. Okay, one thing about Smoke Monday, he wants all the smoke. Here he is, opposite side of the run. The run's going to go. It's a counter the opposite way. Watch the way he hits this guy, just like this guy is hitting him like he owes him money. Oh, my God. The collisions that this guy, Smoke Monday, gets into, pretty nasty. Here's another one. He's going to come in off a blitz, beats 85, gets a sack on the best quarterback, best football player in college football right there, Bryce Young. So I like his ability potentially to be used as like a Jaron Curse type of player, a matchup defender, a dime linebacker in a defensive, which is why I have him as a round 5 player. Okay, here he is. He's going to play some man coverage on a tight end. He has the length to be able to do this, to be able to, ride this guy, play press on tight ends, and, smother them. But there's too much of this on Smoke Monday's film, and this is why I'm talking about a day 3 pick for him. Okay, you see him here. We're in cover 3. You got to pedal here. You can't turn and play in a half turn in the middle. Okay, look at the corner over here. Do we all see? What is he doing? He's pointing to the cross. He's telling Smoke Monday, "Hey, you need to nail down on that. I'm going to overlap to your position." He's pointing. No one is coming off. Big play. Okay, Smoke Monday not understanding the adjustment. Okay, here's another one. This is really interesting to me. He's on the goal line. Okay, you see him here. There's 2 guys over here. What does he do? He comes off and he doesn't run the back in line. Just gives up an easy touchdown in the back of the end zone. Here's another one. We got man coverage. Oh, we're both going to cover the same guy. No one's covering 84 down the seam. This is just an easy throw and catch. There's too much of this on film for Smoke Monday, so I am questionable about his ability to cover. I want him in the box, blitzing, playing the run. I think he could be effective there in spurts for a defense. That's why I got him as a round 5. Okay. Now, a guy that I caught my eye when I was watching Jalen Petre was the cover safety, the free safety in this scheme, JT Woods. Okay. I like him in coverage. I like his tackling. I think he's got questionable athleticism and coordination, and his technique is really all over the place. Okay. So this is why we got him as a round 6 safety in my book. Okay. Here's one play. When we're talking about round 6 safeties, we're talking about guys who are going to be really contributing on special teams. Can they make open field tackles? Here's an example of him coming down, making a great open field tackle against TCU. So he can do that. Okay, here's another one. He's going to break on the ball. You see his back pedal is so high. Okay, his break is not good looking, but he got some power in it. Okay, and he could tackle. Okay. So I like that. Now, here we go. Here he is in the top of the screen. We're going to see him make this kind of a gimme interception here on an overthrow. I think the majority of his interceptions that he had this year, he had 5 interceptions that kind of looked like this, which is why, even though he had 5 interceptions, he's not being very well regarded as a prospect. But there's just some things here that are interesting. Here's one. They're going to double. Okay, him and Jalen Petre have a double on this slot, on the number 2 here, okay? And you're on the goal line. You can't start backing up into the end zone. What are you doing here? Like, that isn't easy. Like, Jalen Petre has the out. You have the in. Keep your feet hot on the goal line. As soon as you see this wide receiver break in, bam, you need to be here and now maybe have a chance to disrupt that or even get an interception right there. Questionable instincts, and I saw that a lot on film from him. And now my round 7 guy, Reed Blankenship. Okay, he's the guy that I heard about last year. Didn't watch him. I finally got around to watching him this year. But one thing that really popped off to me, technique is flawless. Incredible technician. His back pedal, his brakes, everything is textbook. You could tell he's probably the son of a coach, the way that he plays football. And he's also a really, really sound tackler. Okay, my questions about him are just the burst that he has, the athleticism that he has. I think is questionable, and sometimes he has some questionable processing. Now, here's an example. Look at his Look at this pedal. Look at his feet. He gets his hand on. He gets that contact key so he can find the ball in the air. Okay, tries to get that interception. The ball was thrown out of bounds. Here's another one. Just fantastic technique. Watch his feet. Easy pedal, patient feet. Gets the break on the ball, and then look. When he gets here, he turns, pins the wide receiver, and runs the route for him. I think if he's a better athlete, this is an interception. He's going to be able to track that down in the air and get there. He has to and have the juice to get there. But alas, we don't see that from Reed Blankenship. Here's another one. I think it's a really good looking play here. Okay, we're going to stay over the top, but then, he sees that the quarterback is throwing the other post, so he comes off of it. Okay, similar play to maybe what we saw from Kirby Joseph. Okay, and being able to get in that passing window definitely disrupt that wide receiver from making that. Now, here's the limitations, okay? If he is not perfect, you see him take this false step right here, and look how much space we have. Okay, you should be able to recover, but he's not able to recover because he doesn't have the athleticism. So if his technique is not perfect, he's getting beat. And so that's the question that I have with Reed Blankenship. But I don't have a question about his ability to tackle. So here he is. He's going to come down. Okay, quick little throw, and it's very rare for him to miss a tackle. I mean, I think he has like 500 tackles in his career. Incredible number of tackles. He's like a 5-year player from Middle Tennessee. Okay, here's another one. Comes down from him, bam, just folds that guy over. Here's another one. Quick little throw to the slot right here. And watch, the slot's going to try to put a move on him. No, I'm throwing you down like a rodeo clown throws down a calf or something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So those are my safeties right there. And I got into the nitty gritty because Raiders obviously don't have a first or second round pick. So the Lewis Signs and the Kyle Hamiltons and the Jaquan Briskers, obviously aren't going to be there, when the Raiders, get down to picking in the third round, so that's the reason why that's why I looked at these, later round safeties. So yeah. Any takeaways from that? Anything you want to talk about before we get anywhere with that?
I mean, I thought it was interesting you did feature Kirby Joseph because I didn't know if he'd be somebody that'd be there at 86. But I mean,
what do you think? What have you heard? Because I haven't heard too much about Kirby Joseph.
I've heard a lot of people like Kirby Joseph to be a lot higher. I know. I don't know. I'm trying to think of some safety rankings. I know he's pretty high. Like Bucky Brooks has him really high. I think Daniel Jeremiah is pretty high on him.
So when I did this, I was looking at a few different websites, publications, rankings, and he was consistently ranked like 7th or 8th safety. Okay. So I'm thinking maybe round 3 that would be like optimistic. But maybe that's a situation where a team would have to trade up if he's still there and trade up to the beginning of round 3. But yeah, if he goes in round 2, I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, there's some rare plays on there, best in class range, really, at the safety position this year. You saw it. That's an NFL play from the middle of the field, getting to the sideline on a fade ball and getting that interception, breaking before the quarterback even gets the ball out. That's what you want to see from an NFL safety. He's already doing that. So yeah, I definitely agree. Like if he goes before round 3, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, because I mean, I think a lot of people have him over Brister. That's why you mentioned Brister 86. I was like a lot of people have him over Brister. That because somebody just mentioned like Jeremiah having the top 5. So that's why I thought having Joseph in the breakdown was interesting to me. It kind of showed your thoughts about Joseph, like overall compared to other players. So that's why I was like, oh
yeah,
yeah.
It's like when you look at these guys, Marcus Williams, Justin Simmons, even like Jesse Bates, where do they get drafted? They're all like second, third round guys, and now they're like premier safeties in the NFL. Okay. But what do? They just play in the post. Jesse Bates is a great tackler, but those other guys, Anthony Harris, right?
Yeah.
Phenomenal post safeties. All right. But do they tackle? And honestly, I went through 4 games. Okay. I can't find Kirby making a tackle. So I don't know if he wants to tackle or what the deal is with him. If we saw like some great physical tackles and, like coming down and doing all this stuff, and it's like, yeah, this is a first round pick almost,
Yeah.
But he plays at Illinois, and they were terrible. They were trash this year. So yeah.
But Smoke Monday, I was gonna watch him because I just like this name, but it was just interesting. He showed a lot of his bust, which would make him definitely a 5th round pick for sure.
Later,
But I thought Reed Blankenship, that was an interesting breakdown too. Just somebody that is just probably just steady. You know what I mean? Just probably just kind of.
He's maxed out. Around. He's as good as he's gonna be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you can't at least for JT Woods, you could say, oh, he needs to clean up his technique. He's got to clean up his back pedal. His transitions. Okay, so there's a path for him to get better. How could Reed Blankenship get better? He's already perfect with his technique. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, and I don't know if he's got great athleticism. He wasn't even invited to the combine. despite being like the NCAA leader in tackles in like the last like 4 years or whatever it is, right? So clearly the NFL doesn't think very highly of him.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't go to the Senior Bowl. You know what I mean? Like he didn't go
Oh
to the Senior
wow.
Bowl or nothing like that. So that's interesting.
Middle Tennessee State. That's Sun Belt or Conference USA? It doesn't matter because barely anyone comes out of those. Like if you look at the number of NFL players from Conference USA or Sun Belt, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's more D2 players in the NFL than there are from the Sun Belt. So like it's a really bad league to have NFL experience or like to have that level of competition and then come to the NFL. Both of those, Sun Belt and Conference USA.
Exactly. So somebody's asking what's going to happen to Tyreek Gillespie.
So I hope that he's in the mix, and I hope that the best man wins the safety opposite Trayvon Mullen spot. I'll do it. Maybe I'll do a Deron Harmon breakdown. I really think that I really think that Deron Harmon is Trayvon Mullen's backup.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. I don't think that he's brought in to play opposite and start, because he's never really been a starter in the NFL except for like the last like 2 years, and that was like probably because of right.
Yeah, with Patricia.
yeah. So I mean, even like when he was like playing for the Patriots, he was a sub player only, right? And he would come in and he would play like deep safety and like certain looks. You know what I'm saying? And then also just like watching this film, he's like, it's clear that this man is on his last legs in the NFL, very slow, probably one of the slowest safeties that I've seen. So, I mean, it's like having Reggie Nelson back there again. You know what I'm saying? So, not really excited about Deron Harmon. I would be much more excited about Tyreek Gillespie playing there, or even just trying to be optimistic about Jonathan Abram getting the start.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like Gus Bradley just refused to play some young guys last year that he just didn't want to put out there, because I still don't understand why Malcolm Coombs didn't get more snaps. So that really confused me more than anything. Like just the pass rush productivity that he was getting, you figured he would have got a lot more snaps at the end of the year, even though if he had some problems against the run. I mean, I know Braden Smith beasted him, but it was just interesting how Gus Bradley didn't really play some of those younger guys. Like, why play? I mean, I guess whatever, down Levitt. I don't know, whatever. Anyways, anything else? Anything else? Any safeties or thoughts?
I mean, I'll probably save that for another episode. Talk about Kyle Hamilton, my top safeties, and Lewis Sign. The gap between them is not as great as I think some people might think. Mm-hmm. So, but I'll probably save that for maybe like one of the member videos.
Okay.
I got a question here from Egalitarian. Again, what's up, bro? He says, what are your thoughts on Roger McCreary? Do you think Dave Ziegler will draft him? I like McCreary enough. I think maybe he's like the second, third round corner. Probably a second round guy. He reminded me a lot on film of Rock Ya-Sin. So that's like they move very similar. They got kind of like these bow-legged corners. So I think that he fits like a prototype of what is already on the roster. So if that's what the goal is, to get multiple corners that are kind of like the same athletic profile and same build and same style, then like that makes sense to get a guy like Roger McCreary. But I don't know if he's going to be available by 86. I would guess no.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree with Oakland fan that Yannick Ngakoue definitely looked tired. Looked like he put too much weight on, for sure. All right. For sure. All right. So let's get into these tight ends, man. I know tight ends is not that exciting, but we're ready to get some blocking here. We're a lot of blockers, a lot of blocking. Because to be real, a tight end is basically an offensive lineman that runs routes. I mean, if you want to look at it that way, I mean, when you evaluate them, I mean, blocking is a big part of their evaluation. So, when you look at tight ends, I mean, they got to block too, right? But these days you have a lot of these move tight ends that kind of just, sometimes they don't block at all. Like that's why you got Cole Turner who's coming out this year. That's why I didn't really cover him because he didn't. I mean, there's no. He were in the air raid, so he didn't block at all because they didn't run the ball. So
I'm shocked they even had a tight end on the field at all.
Yeah, I mean, but hey, to be honest, I mean, this is a really good blocking tight end draft. I mean, there's a lot of guys that can block. Like one guy didn't cover is Trey McBride. I mean, Trey McBride. Now that's I don't know where he's gonna go, but that dude, he was outside beating press coverage. So, and he was pancaking pancaking defensive ends. So I know he's not gonna be there at 86. Just, I know damn well. I mean, he shouldn't. From what I watched on tape, that dude's basically a weapon, right? I mean, he has a kind of the route running skills of Darren Waller, in my opinion. He got the route running skills of Darren Waller, but he blocks like, I mean, he's pancaking people. It was crazy. So I was like, because I left the Senior Bowl. People were kind of hating on him because he didn't create too much separation at the Senior Bowl. But when I watched him on tape, I was like, oh my god, yeah, there's no way, there's no damn way he'd be there.
People love this separation talk. They're tight ends.
I know, but he's catching everything.
Separation. What are you talking about?
As he was there, people are like, well, I mean, yeah, you see, they're all contested catches. I mean, they want Travis Kelce.
Yeah, he's a tight end. What do you mean? They're contested catches. That's his job. I don't know.
See, but when I watched him on film, bro,
yeah,
he literally would line up outside against press coverage and beat people on slants. And it wasn't like, basically like the separation that Darren Waller gets that, if I make a good throw, Darren Waller's catching the ball because it's going to be a good throw. And he has the body position. And that's what Trey McBride is. He doesn't drop anything. Yeah, to me, that's a like top level second round, first round tight end. But so that's why I didn't cover him. But that's probably my number one tight end that I watched. He's probably my tight end one for the whole draft. It's Trey McBride. That dude's a monster for sure. But we're covering the blockers today because that's what we're looking for. We're looking for some blocking guys because they brought in James Mitchell. They brought in another tight end. Like I said, what's his name? I just can't think of his name right now. But he goes to Coastal Carolina. He blocks. That's really all he does is block. So we're looking at the blocking guys and a couple of my favorites. And there's one I really like that I'm going to show at the end that I really think is kind of fits the exact mold of what they want as a tight end too. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, here we go. All right, so we'll start with the first guy, which is James Mitchell from Virginia Tech. He came in for a visit, so we definitely want to cover James here. He didn't play really at all this year. Had an injury. I think it was a knee injury that kind of kept him out for the whole season. Only played 2 games. So that's why you don't see any of these kind of workout numbers, right? So he's definitely somebody that maybe they brought in to try to see what is wrong with his injuries that they're interested in. But he is a pretty good blocker. And you can see by his bench, 18 bench right there for tight end is pretty good. So we're going to watch James a little bit here. See 82 right here, right? You kind of see just good willing blocker. I mean, it's on a little safety right there. But, I mean, he really didn't get a lot of targets. That's what I'm talking about. A lot of these tight ends that we're watching today, they don't get a lot of targets. We'll get later on. We'll get into more of the target guys. We see right here, another good block from James right here on the safety. Doesn't get beat a lot on blocks. This is somebody that's not going to get beat by a lot of players when he's making blocks. So you see here right here one time. Always kind of in position to make blocks. This is awesome run right there for number 9. But you kind of see him right here once again on this block. Another good block on kind of the reach block right here on the outside zone a little bit, inside zone. So see James, he definitely has a lot of talent in the blocking ability, right? But it's just not amazing blocking ability. But he really doesn't add too much as a wide receiver. That's why I really don't. I'm not a big fan of him, and he's probably like a late 7th round, maybe 5th round type of player because you just don't see the route running from him or the kind of the speed to kind of benefit to have a 4th round or even a 5th round pick, in my opinion. I feel like this is definitely a 7th round tight end, especially with the injury history, maybe an undrafted. So you really know they just brought him in to kind of see what's happening because, there's no separation, there's no speed there, and he's healthy. Okay. So, you kind of can see from this side too. Right. And then even with this little yak play, I mean, I really showed this because maybe show a little bit of yak ability, but it's kind of I don't know what the tackle. I don't know what this guy was doing. This tackle is just kind of embarrassing. So I don't know what's happening there. But I mean, James Mitchell, he's basically just a blocker, and he's not even that great of a blocking. I mean, there was really nothing exciting with the blocking there. It was kind of just he kind of just got in the way. Which I mean, from tight end, I mean, you kind of want that sometimes too. But now we're ready to get into the monsters and Jalen Wydermyer. He's terribly athletically. As you can see, he runs a 5.02. He has a 25-inch vert. But man, can this guy block. So you got 6'4", 255. And this is the definition of somebody that I think what the new coaching staff is looking for. So this is against Will Anderson. I mean, this is one of the best defensive ends in football. You kind of see the technique that he has, right? And the power that he has to be able to hold a player of that caliber, right? That's a little bit maybe call that holding. There's no flag, but still, that just the ability to hold that kind of block on that type of player kind of shows his blocking ability again. So you see it here. Look at him picking up a blitz perfectly, great technique, perfect hand placement. He's like a lineman, right? Perfect setup, allows a quarterback to make a good throw. Right, and then you can get a little bit from him from a wide receiver position, right? And what I thought was super interesting about his athleticism, right, is that he's pretty smooth with this route. So you see right here, I mean, it's not a lot of effort. There's not a lot of steps there when he's making that route to come back to the football. It didn't come back to him. The ball didn't go to him, but you see a little bit of that type of athleticism that well, he doesn't have the athleticism on the combine, but you see his route running ability is a little different on tape. So let's watch this block too right here. He kind of springs a nice little run on this block as well. Watch him get up to the linebacker. Like I said, good pad level, right? Good technique, hands inside, good base, right? Perfect block for a tight end, right? Moves that linebacker. And this is what I'm talking about. It's a route runner, right? He has great hands. Able to, he's like 5.02, huh? It's a little weird. I don't know what that, it doesn't look like that on tape. That's all I gotta say. And so I think this guy, like in the 5th round, this is what I'm talking about. A guy who can come in and maybe get some targets, not get a whole lot of targets, but is able to block, right? Able to come in and be a good blocker. And like I said, like, I mean, he's even getting deep here. I don't know if this 5.02 is coming.
He is hurt. He was hurt at the combine. He was hurt.
Is that what it was? Okay.
It has to be. I don't know for sure, but that has to be.
But because like this route right here, he gets a corner. Right? I don't know. I think this is a corner. I'm pretty sure this is. I may be safety. I'm not sure. But this is what I'm talking about. Like, look at the in and out. This is a whip route, right? Which a big part of Erhard Perkins is whip routes. And you kind of see, he's getting separation there. He's in and out of his breaks pretty quick. So I don't know what's going on with that combine. But I mean, I really, really like the way he gets in and out of his breaks. See it once, like look the quickness in and out of his break right there. He's open. He doesn't get the football, but he's open. And you can see it one more time here. And then on this one, he does drop the football, but you watch him get in and out of his breaks here at this route at the top of his stem. Right, it's really quick. Boom, he's already out of it. He dropped the football, but like I said, right, that's against a corner too. But you see, like, it's weird. It's super weird to me. Like, I was kind of shocked when I saw his numbers. But that's a tight end I really like. And I think because of the athleticism numbers, he's going to be there in the 5th round. And I think that's somebody that you could bring in the 5th round. Now let's get to the freak. Jelani Woods, which he might not be there. But, with tight ends, you never know. I got to stop with these numbers because I need you guys to look at this. So he is 6'7", 253. He runs a 4.6140. He has a 37.5 vert. He has a 3-cone of 6.95, and he has a bench of 24. All right. And this guy was a quarterback coming out in high school. He was a quarterback. I have no idea. Wow. I watched his high school tape. I have no idea why he moved from quarterback. I still don't understand it. Think of that as he's the first round pick as a quarterback with those numbers. All right, here we go. So, and he just looks like he's playing with children. There's Jelani Woods, you could tell, but the huge human right there. And just good hands too. I mean, he's a great football player, right? And it's hard to tackle, and he's just a monster, and he is a good blocker, near great blocker. All right, so we're gonna watch some of this technique. And this guy's never played tight end. He never played tight end before, right? Like he's pass blocking like he's a tackle. This guy's going nowhere on this one. Right, here's another great block here. Sorry, this is a route, right? So he's getting wide open right here. Nice catch, nice hands, catches the back shoulder, and then you can't tackle him. You just bounce off him because he's huge. He's humongous. He's a humongous human. He's just a monster. And like I said, he's a near great blocker. I'm telling you, he doesn't have a lot of bad blocks. Watching me the second level here, he just moved this safety like he's nothing. Create nothing. He's not. He's a little child. Right here, he is a pretty good route right here. In and out of breaks, quick route, wide open, great hands, catching that ball, all hands. Can't tackle him. You got to fight because he's, like I said, he's just a humongous human. And here's another great block right here from Jelani. Oh, skip passes to show this one. All right, that's right. Here we go. This is and sometimes with his routes right here, sometimes he can be a little bit stiff running out of his routes. So maybe he might fall to 86 because he's not like even Travis Kelce went in the third round, right? But he's not like a dynamic route runner. So you kind of see that he's a little bit stiff and even gets pressed. There's nothing. He doesn't offer anything. But we talked about that with tight ends. You're not expecting a super amazing route runner because I still feel like if the quarterback threw it to him, he might have a chance to catch that. All right, just because of his size and the way that he handles himself there. And here's another route right here from him. Right, and you kind of see the in and out of his breaks. He's able to get a quick jab step, break inside, boom, he's open. With his size, that's open, especially against that type of player. You get a good throw, he's going to catch that ball. All right, now this is one of my guys that I feel like, this is really like a fourth round tight end that I feel like the new coaching staff will really like is Jake Ferguson. He's 6'5", 250, 4.81, 31.5, kind of typical tight end athleticism, but the broad jump, the 9'10" broad jump, right? That is like a 90 percentile for a tight end. So
really?
He has explosion. Yeah, so he's explosive. Okay, so even with some of those 40 times, right, you see how explosive he is, and he is, probably one of my favorite blockers here because you're going to watch him take on Aiden Hutchinson in a second, but you see him right here. Over here, he's got this guy is not even close to the play. He's just blocking him out of oblivion, right? Jake Ferguson. And, he comes from Wisconsin, so he's blocking because that's what they're going to do. They're going to run the football, right? So I just want to show David. I did this because I just want to show David Ojobo because I just want to. This bend is crazy. I just added this guy. So there's nothing to do with Jake Ferguson. Just look at this bend. Look at that. Just nuts. And it has nothing to do with anything. All right, so Jake Ferguson again here at the split zone against Aiden Hutchinson. Look at this block, just embracing that, right? You see he's kind of a monster there. The blocks kind of hold the H. Hutchinson there, who definitely cannot be blocked. The tape is amazing, right? Here we go again against Aiden Hutchinson, taking that impact because Aiden Hutchinson brings the impact every single time. Kind of a little holding his own as a tight end against that type of player is amazing to me, and I just kind of love that he's able to hold us down, even get a pancake, right? So bring that back. That's against the number one pick in the draft, and that is where I really like Jake. And you kind of see he is going against a guy with great technique. Look at Aiden Hutchinson's pad level, but Jake Ferguson, he's embracing it, he's taking it, he's got good base there. He's still able to hold his anchor there, right, and still able to get a pancake against one of the best players in the draft, or the best player in the draft. And then as a wide receiver, he's not too shabby. This is what I'm talking about, the perfect number 2 guy, right? Because even if you want to go 2 tight ends and run some routes, you could throw the ball to Jake. Look at this catch, right? In traffic, hold on to the football, first down, and then he points at you, right? And you see it from the back end. Play action, get the split, right? And just look at these hands, right? Pure catch. Amazing, right? I really like that. And even here, you can kind of tell that he's really smooth in and out of his breaks. Smooth there, right? Smooth little route running, and it helps his quarterback out. Good hands, makes a play. So I really like Jake Ferguson too as a tight end that can really come in and block and help out a lot with this offense and not have to, really take away from, Darren Waller or anything like that. So I really like those type of players that I showed. I really don't like James Mitchell that much, to be honest. I mean, James Mitchell was boring. It was really not really exciting, and definitely somebody that I could see being like undrafted. Maybe the Raiders are looking at. But other than that, I really like those other tight ends that I shown, especially Jelani Woods. He's a freak. He might not be there. I don't know what somebody's gonna take him. I know a lot of people are really, really high on Jelani, but Jake Ferguson is somebody I really like for the Raiders for what they're looking for, because I know they're looking for a tight end. They're looking for a tight end that can block. They're looking for that second tight end that can come in and block and pass block when they need to. If they feel like a right tackle's not having a good day, they can have a tight end help chip and block. And I think Jake Ferguson's that perfect guy, especially like in the fourth round, that he can come in and he has that pedigree from Wisconsin and the run game. He has great hands and he's not a bad receiver. He's still a good receiver that he could be a great complement tight end, right? And even if we talk about if Darren Waller does go down, I think Ferguson's a little bit has more upside as a tight end, as a starting tight end, than let's say Foster Moreau at this point or anybody else they have on the roster. So, but yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on the tight ends that I saw that could fill in. But what are your thoughts?
So what I love about this conversation, I mean, safeties and tight ends, there have been historically kind of undervalued. So your best tight end, your best safety, there might be available in round two. Whereas like other premier positions, you'll have like 5 or 6 of them go before round 2 even comes around, right? So there is a chance, that a good tight end is available for the Raiders. I think of a strong likelihood, right? Yeah. And if you're telling me that this is a great draft to find a blocking tight end, that's interesting to me. Going back to Wydermyer, I don't know how you say that guy's name.
Wydermyer, yeah.
He reminds me of someone like Kendall Blanton, who came out of Missouri. And I watched Kendall Blanton, and I liked him. I thought he was a fantastic blocker, and I thought he could move a little bit. But then he gets his combine, he runs a 4.98, 28, and I'm like, what? This is not right. He's an SEC tight end. No way is he that bad of an athlete, right?
Yeah.
But then you see him on tape, this guy Wydermyer, he's like getting open deep, so there's no way he's running a 5-second 40. When he's healthy or whatever it is, so maybe he's just bad getting out of a stance and not a track guy, but you trust what you see on tape in terms of play speed there. And if he's a great blocker, maybe that's a guy who comes at a great discount, like a round 7 guy, you know what I'm saying? Because of the bad combine, but and we don't have to have a complete player. I know what you're saying. Jake Ferguson upside in case Darren Waller goes down, right? But we don't need a complete player because the Raiders don't need a starting tight end. They need a complementary tight end. They need a position guy like who comes in and blocks and does like certain things and sees maybe like 15 snaps a game. Like that's who the Raiders need right now. And I guess Foster Moreau is not that guy. So other guys, that we're seeing, I mean, it looks like there's a good selection.
Yeah. That's why, the guy from Coastal Carolina, that's why I really feel like Isaiah Likely, I really feel like that he should be the pick if that's what they're looking for, because I think Isaiah Likely he's not as fast as Jonnu Smith, right? He doesn't have the athleticism of Jonnu Smith, but he has a lot of ability to make players miss in space. So, and he is a great blocker, right? And that's kind of my favorite for that position. If they really wanted to draft somebody, it would be Isaiah Likely. Just because he has that ability to make somebody miss if he ran a quick out and he caught the football, or it was a quick check down, a chip block guy and caught a quick check down, he could take it on first down and make it like 8 yards and make some players miss. And that's what I really like about Isaiah Likely. But he doesn't have great athleticism either, right? He doesn't have a great athletic profile at all, really. And really, none of these tight ends do, besides Woods. I mean, Woods' profile is nuts. But he's a quarterback, in my opinion. I don't know why he's playing tight end. I would never.
That's interesting.
I was gonna show some of his high school tape because I watched his high school tape. Like, so why did he move to tight end? I was trying to figure out for a while, and I'm sure he just wanted to play, and that's why he moved to tight end. But man, so did Jelani Woods come as a top 30 visits?
That's what I was gonna ask.
Did
This
he?
guy's saying top 30. I didn't see that one. We'll
If
go
he did,
through.
man, I'm really.
Let me see what Justin M says about it on Twitter. But yeah, I mean, shoot, if they're looking at him, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I mean, that's somebody that he has a lot of upside. Yeah, and you're right. Cool story, bro. He does have a 10 RAS. His RAS is freaky, right? So he has a freaky RAS, and he was very exciting to watch on tape. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like, but that's a number one tight end though. I feel like he has a lot of number one upside, and I feel like you want to get him targets. He needs targets. He needs plays, and you want him to kind of be more part of the offense than somebody like a Jake Ferguson or a Wydermyer, who is more of a blocking tight end who can kind of get you some check downs or some kind of plays, or some other Isaiah Likely, that type of player. So, man, yeah, if they brought Jelani Woods in, man, don't let Jelani fall. That'd be a great pick. I'd be excited about taking Woods. He has a lot of upside. That is a freak, and he could be an emergency quarterback if you need it. To me, in my opinion, so he's an emergency quarterback. But anyways,
confirmed. Jelani Woods top 30.
Wow,
with the Raiders.
And I think it's interesting. They brought in Christian Watson too, Devontae Wyatt, which is super interesting because Christian Watson could still fall too. I know there's a lot of buzz with him, but he still went to North Dakota State. And, NFL teams, and he can't catch really. So he might be there. I mean, that would be a great pick. I'd be ecstatic if that happened. But same with Woods too. I'd be ecstatic if they took Woods. That'd be a player that I really like. So, but I'd be ecstatic if they took Ferguson in the 4th round too. I really like that pick. But all right. Any other thoughts on tight ends? Anything else?
Yeah, no. I mean, one thing I will say, everyone said Foster Moreau was a great blocker coming out of college.
Mm-hmm.
So when I cut on the tape, I did not see any evidence of that. And I remember posting my breakdown on Twitter showing him not being able to block and everyone attacking me saying, you don't get to wear number 18 at LSU unless you're a great blocker. And just people could not come to grips with him not being a good blocker. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, he's a great athlete is what Foster Moreau is. But we already have an even better athlete the Raiders have at tight end.
Yeah.
So you need someone that complements him a little better, not just like a diet version of Darren Waller, who struggled in primetime last year. Let's jump to some questions while we're still here.
Okay.
I'm getting a question. Did you watch Amare Barno?
Amare Barno. I've not got to Amare Barno yet, but I did watch him at the Senior Bowl. I think it was at the Senior Bowl. Yeah, I believe watching him at the Senior Bowl. I mean, I think he was there. He really didn't stand out. I know he had a freakish combine, though. I know.
Yes, the combine is freaky. Obviously, yeah. I watched like one game, so I can't give you like a really good synopsis of this guy, but he definitely looks like he's got a lot of room to grow in terms of his ability to play in the NFL. I think that right now he's probably out athleting people out there a little bit.
Yeah.
And usually when you see edges who are just out athleting people, it takes a couple years for their skill level to catch up and be effective in the NFL. So, but yeah, I mean, look, with that athletic profile, shoot, yes, let's draft him for sure. 5th round, 6th round, heck yeah, if he's still there. I'm getting another question here about Bubba Bolden. Have not watched Bubba Bolden. He's on my list of safeties to watch. I mean, there's so many safeties to get through here, but did get around to Bubba Bolden from Miami. So that's on my list. Sorry about that.
Yeah, man. Any other questions we got here, man? I'm trying to see. Oh, Troy Anderson. I did watch Troy Anderson. Troy Anderson was interesting, man, because he played slot corner more than he played linebacker. When I watched him on tape, he was a slot corner, and he's 243 pounds. So I thought that was super interesting, and he didn't look that bad there. So I think that he's a very versatile player. He's definitely not as athletic on tape as he is on film. He has one of the most embarrassing tackle broken ankle plays you'll see, but like his athleticism almost helped him bounce back and not get his ankles broken. So I could tell how he is an athlete, but he like bounced to like avoid his ankles getting broken. So I was like, oh, you're very athletic, but man, you need to break down when you tackle. He doesn't break down very well when he tries to tackle. So he definitely needs to get to learn how to do that, which I think is very coachable. But he's definitely, you can tell how athletic he is on tape. He's a freak, Trey Anderson. So that would be somebody like later on the draft that I think it might be there as well.
Where did Trey Anderson go?
Montana State.
Montana State. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
but
FCS though.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that he might fall, but he is almost 250 pounds, bro, and he's a freak. Like he literally plays slot corner, bro. He was playing slot corner. So
very strange.
Very strange at 240 pounds. But that's what I'm saying. But probably at that level, at the playing the caliber of players he's playing, and he's so much more a better athlete than them, he could do that. But he still showed a lot of man coverage ability that I really liked on tape. So I really like Trey Anderson. But tackling and breaking down and making a tackle and coming down as a safety and a linebacker and getting in and making a tackle, I don't know about that. He literally was like a 240-pound slot corner, which I thought was weird. So,
yeah, strange. Yeah.
He's a great blitzer.
Question here.
Great blitzer. Yeah, go ahead.
From this guy, dumbass dude, BD. What's your thoughts on Trayvon Mullen? Do you think Hobbs could play that Jalen Ramsey role? So, I would. So I guess what I'm assuming that you're saying the Jalen Ramsey role is the star nickel corner in like a man match scheme. I'm not sure that they're going to get into a man match scheme. That's not what Graham has done. So he doesn't have that role in his defense. So if you're asking about like that potentially being an option, I'm not sure if that's going to be an option. And I wouldn't be confident with many people being able to play that role in the NFL. So I'll just leave it at that. And then BD, what's your thoughts on Trayvon Mullen? So I think Trayvon Mullen is definitely a part of the plans here. His ability to play man is crucial to any defense. You got to play man on the backside. When you get soloed up, when you get that ISO X, that big tight end on the backside, you got to be able to press that guy. You just can't zone it off every single time. And that's what Trayvon Mullen's hallmark is. He's got some fantastic tape, impress man. And I think that he's going to be able to play that a little bit more than, he was last year. Instead of it just being a coverage check, he'll be in that coverage. He'll be impressed man. And I think it's crucial to the defense to have any defense to have a guy that can play press man on the outside like that. So I think he's a big part of the defense going forward this year. So yeah, I'm excited to see Trayvon Mullen healthy. There was times when he was flashing some really damn good press coverage, better than probably any corner that's currently rostered right now. So I'm confident in him.
I did what you, I saw this question a couple times. I want you to answer this question. What are things that can't be coached at safety?
Instincts.
Instincts.
You either have them or you don't. You can, and instincts are different than play recognition, because play recognition is about film study, right? So you see, this wide receiver is breaking out, so I'm getting a post from number one, because that's what they do on film, and going there and having great zone maintenance and matching patterns and stuff like that. You can improve in that area, right? But when we saw Kirby Joseph break on the ball before the quarterback even threw it, I don't know if you can coach that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's the kind of thing that, honestly, the best DBs, the best safeties have that. And I wouldn't feel like I wouldn't go to high school and coach safeties and think I could improve their instincts. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to focus on their technique. I'm going to focus on their back pedal. I'm going to focus on, their tackling, their body position when they're tackling. Instincts, you either have them or you don't.
Yeah. All right. Just a couple more questions here from got some members here. So BD and Mark, who do you think Dave Zero would draft at 86? Who do I would want at 86, in my personal opinion, if I had to go by kind of positions of need? I mean, if at 86 for wide receiver, I would go Alec Pierce. That's just my opinion. I'm taking Alec Pierce at 86. I think he's definitely a dynamite wide receiver that I think is underrated, and he's crazy athletic profile. It doesn't make any sense why he's not getting a lot of buzz. And I think he's a steal at 86, to be honest. If I will go wide receiver, defensive tackle, there's not a lot of defensive tackles there I would take, to be honest, at 86 that I feel very comfortable with that'll go there. Corners is a lot of guys. I mean, like you talk about Mario Goodrich that you showed. I think that's a really good player that go 86. But any other thoughts you got, BD, for 86?
I just hope it's a low maintenance guy. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Last question we get to. Right here from my boy Diego Pena. Any thoughts on the linebacker class? I still think we need to upgrade to learn from or take over Perryman. Well, BD had beef with Brady Popping, a former Green Bay Packers, about Devin Lloyd. So maybe he gives some thoughts about the linebackers a little bit.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah, that was a surreal. It was probably my most strange Twitter interaction I've ever had. With a former NFL linebacker who was saying this phenomenal play from Devin Lloyd was something that his Pop Warner kids could do. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, you better win championships every year if that's what you're saying. But I think that this is a top-heavy linebacker class. I think that they're really good linebackers. There's probably like 3 of them. And then the rest of these guys are kind of like limited in one way or the other. I think Devin Lloyd and Kobe Dean, probably those are your 2 best linebackers, but you have some upside with guys like Quay Walker and Channing Tindall from Georgia, the other Georgia linebackers, Chad Muma, Darian Beavers. I think these guys, Leo Chenal, these guys are probably limited. You're not going to, get like a plus coverage from, some of these guys, but their ability to play downhill, between the tackles is probably pretty good, but a downhill thumper linebacker, that's a later pick. That's probably like a, late day 2, day 3 pick, if you don't have that plus in coverage. So I think, if they get a linebacker, they probably will get a linebacker, and I haven't done like a deep dive into the linebacker class. So whatever linebacker they pick, I'll just focus on him and I'll do a breakdown for you guys.
All right, cool, man. I think that's it, guys. We're going to look. So definitely appreciate you guys listening and checking this out. Definitely come with the listeners. Like I said, join the membership. You guys want some more in-depth breakdowns? I got my basically almost every Malcolm Kuhn snap up there. Just not the Chargers game. So it's the only game I really didn't cover, but I got like almost every other one. So we got almost every Malcolm Kuhn snap up on the membership. I got Isaiah Likely up there. You might already watch that, but I got the membership too. So we're going to be dropping some more stuff there too as well, guys. So make sure you guys join that. And then, of course, subscribe to the channel. And make sure you follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL, at BD Williams 18. And we're out. Like I said, appreciate it, guys. Peace.
Peace, y'all.